We're back with Nikki White Polar Extremes. Today we've got chapter 25. It's called Race for the Hollywood Showers. And it's from Nikki's perspective. The date is February 21st, 2020. You're out here early, I said, crunching up to Adam near the start of the flag lines. He continued staring through his ski goggles toward the month-long midnight sun, its fire slowly doused by the icy horizon, almost imperceptible to the eye but not the soul. How would we handle the darkness? Would the stars be enough to fill the void, comforting us like nightlights do for scared children? Adam finally turned to look at me, lowered his scarves, and cleared his throat. I don't know what's early or late down here. Time don't make sense anymore, he said, his voice hoarse from a cold. I'd like to say that you'll get used to it, but I'm still not, and I have been here for over a month now. Pretty sweet sunset, though, he said. Yeah, I used to think New Hampshire was impressive. This place is so bizarre and beautiful. Just like you, he quickly added, without looking at me. What? He didn't answer. I tugged at his parka until he stared at me. His brown eyes had that lost, hopeless look that I had seen once before, on the night I talked him out of shooting up our high school with Thomas. What's wrong, other than the fact that we've both been abducted by the bridge and banished to the South Pole for the winter? It doesn't matter, he said, looking at the sunset again. Adam, just let it out. We're at the fucking South Pole. Shout it out if you want to. He hesitated for a moment and then ranted. I've been here for a week, and do you realize this is the first time we've actually talked together alone, he snapped. Really? After all we've been through? Am I that repulsive to you? My lips were chattering too much, so I hid my mouth behind my scarves for a moment and thought about what he said. I guess that's a yes, then, he jabbed. I lowered my scarves. I'm sorry, and no, you're not repulsive. I had to cover my mouth for a second before it literally froze shut. You're right. I should have hung out with you sooner. But this whole situation is insane, so if I'm acting bizarre, good, I should be. I did call you beautiful too, he pointed out. Yes, thank you. But how can you tell when I'm under 55 layers of gear? He nodded and forced a smile. His lips were turning blue. You better cover up, I said. Fuck that. I want to talk to you. That's why you came out before the drill is supposed to start, I asked. Yep. I was hoping you'd be early too, and for once I caught a break. Did you hear about the ISIS attacks? Yep. Kill, kill, kill. I'm so sick of the people on this planet, I said with a relentless shiver. Look at this scene in front of us. Such an amazing, beautiful world, and all we humans do is destroy it and each other. We don't deserve to live here. It should only be for animals and plants and snow and ice. I covered up my own blue lips and noticed a group of green parkas marching in our direction. And now I guess they will want us to go destroy Mars, Adam declared, despite quivering lips. Finally, he covered up too. A minute later, Willem congratulated us on getting out here as early. A minute later, Willem congratulated us on getting out here early, as Bill, Thomas, and Roy trailed close behind. Then he stopped and looked around at everybody. Today we're going to do a little team building and rescue training, Willem barked, with no apparent trace of grief in his voice over the death of his brother-in-law. Nicky and Adam, you were out here first, so you can be Team 1. Bill and Thomas, you're Team 2. Bill shook his head in disgust at the pairing. I don't think Thomas had figured out yet that Bill was the boyfriend I had told him about. He had not seen us kiss when Bill got off the plane, and we had not acted like a couple since then because we weren't anymore. One team member must carry the other to the halfway point between here and the dark sector telescopes, Willem instructed. At the halfway point, you will find 2 sleds, and you must switch places. The weaker team member, if you can't carry your partner, you must pull him or her in the sled to complete the second leg to the dark sector. Now figure out who will carry whom first. I'll carry you, Adam told me, stating the obvious. How am I going to pull you? What do you weigh? 210 or so. This sucks, I said, covering up my mouth again, preparing to be draped over Adam's shoulders. Do it, Roy ordered Thomas and Bill as they hesitated and cursed. Did I fail to mention that the winters get Hollywood showers for a week when the winter rules kick in? Willem said with a grin. What's that mean? Bill asked. Hollywood showers. Aren't I speaking American? Willem replied. Beginning next month, your current 5-minute showers will be cut to 2-minute showers twice a week, Next, to conserve fuel over the long winter with no supply flights coming in. So the winners of this drill will get to keep their 5-minute Hollywood showers for an extra week. Trust me, you'll be happy you won today. You carry me, Bill told Thomas. You're younger, with a stronger back. Thomas shook his head, lowered his scarves to spit, and hunched down. Get on, old man. Sure enough, Thomas was able to carry Bill, just as he did for me in the last drill that went horribly awry. Then Adam grabbed me and made me his cargo with ease. Ready, set, go, Willem shouted. Adam had no problem lugging all 120 pounds of me, plus winter gear. He jumped out to an early lead and never looked back. I had to crane my neck at an awkward angle to see Thomas struggling to haul tall and lanky Bill. I fully expected Thomas to drop him at any time just for the fun of it, never mind how tough it was, but he must have really wanted those Hollywood showers. Willem stomped alongside us as Adam reached the orange sled first and let me down. He did his part, giving me plenty of head start with a half-kilometer to go reach the dark sector. Roy stalked Thomas as he slowly carried Bill toward their sled, but they were still about 30 feet behind us as Adam plopped his big body on our sled and I grabbed the rope. I pulled with all my might. I slung the rope around my torso and tried to run. I got behind Adam and pushed his back. The sled did not budge. Adam lowered his scarves and began to laugh and snort. Oh, shut up, I yelled, while noticing Willem crack a smile. While we were going nowhere, Thomas caught up and dumped Bill unceremoniously in the snow to our left. Hey, Bill grunted as he landed. Your turn, old man, Thomas ribbed him. Then after huffing and puffing for a few seconds, he looked at me and laughed derisively. Good luck moving that fat ass. At that moment, as I jerked the rope with gritted teeth, the sled suddenly and miraculously moved with ease. That's because Adam had leapt off the sled and tackled Thomas in the snow. He jumped on top of him and started wailing on him with punch after punch. Roy was ready to pounce on both of them, but Willem yelled, No, let them go at it for a minute. Thomas managed to kick and wriggle free and then wrestled Adam in the snow. He got Adam in a headlock and tried to strangle him. Bill backed up next to me to watch the UFC Antarctica cage-free match. For the pole bragging rights, he quipped to me. I just shook my head, raised my scarves to prevent frostbite, and waited for the grappling and grunting to end. Willem let him go for another minute or so. Adam had gotten out of the headlock and landed a couple more punches. Then Willem called it. Enough, he shouted. Roy quickly stepped in, tossing them away from each other like two green garbage bags. They both hunched over in the snow and gasped for air. It was far too thin down here to help much. Fighting at nearly 10,000 feet isn't very smart, Willem sneered. Now you've learned the hard way. You've also drawn a penalty at the halfway mark in our race for the Hollywood Showers. Since you two bozos appear to need additional team-building work, we'll pair you up for the second half of the race. Fuck that, Thomas managed to yell in between gasps. Willem just nodded to Roy, who picked Thomas up like a Chucky doll and body slammed him back into the snow. Adam wisely kept his mouth shut, save for a spit, and then raised his scarves over his mouth and headed toward the sled next to mine. You've all got 30 seconds to get back in this fucking race to the dark sector, or Roy will break all of you in half, Willem shouted. Doesn't matter who's pulling now, just finish the goddamn drill already. I quickly and happily jumped on the sled, and Bill grabbed the rope and started yanking me forward. A few snow crystals swirled in the breeze, and suddenly it was like a scene out of a Christmas postcard in one lane of the race. In the other lane, a dejected Thomas somehow submitted to the indignity of being pulled by Adam. But they were so far behind us, it didn't matter. Bill kept on chugging with me in tow, and we crossed the final red flags under the looming telescopes, which seemed to rise at least 100 feet into the air now that I got to see them up close. Yes, I cheered, jumping up from the sled to hug my ex. Roy and Willem chided Adam to move his weary body and finish the race. 2 minutes later, he finally delivered Thomas past the last flag and collapsed. They both looked exhausted and pissed off. Willem wasn't too pleased either. You all suck today, but the Hollywood Showers go to Nicky and Bill. Adam and Thomas, meanwhile, have a choice to make. Shake hands like men and move on, and I'll hail Snowbow and his snowcat to take us back for breakfast. Don't shake hands, and you all get to push Roy back to base on a sled. We all groaned, and Roy actually chuckled. I don't think I had seen him laugh since our plane ride to South Africa 2 years ago. Eventually, Thomas ignored what was left of his pride and shook gloves with Adam. Bill and I clapped. Who knows? On another planet, you bozos could wind up being friends, Willem said with a loud smack of his black gloves. And it all started right here. That's the magic of Antarctica. Ain't she a beauty? Then Willem pulled a walkie-talkie out of his parka. Hey, it's not like they have cell service down here. Snowbo, come and get us, he said. We've fought, we've bled, and we've laughed together. Now it's time to eat. That's the end of chapter 25. Be back with 26 next.